Welcome back to Blue Jay Bonsai, and happy Hibiscus New Year. A few weeks ago, when the weather was nice, as it is again now, Derek dropped off these hibiscus that he picked up at the local big box store for $1.99 per pot, and each pot contains 2 hibiscus. So with all of this raw material, I decided to take these Hawaiian punch hibiscus and turn them into a little forest. Many of you made suggestions on what I should put in the black pot I got for Christmas from my sister. A lot of you suggested something bright and colorful with flowers, but it was subscriber Marisol whose suggestion most rang home with me. She suggested hibiscus. Now she suggested red, and I have orange, but I think that's close enough. So thank you, Marisol. So with our drainage screens put in place, we're now ready to add our bonsai soil. And of course, I'm using my favorite Nigel Saunders original recipe, calcined clay, perlite, and pine bark fines. And now comes the fun part. Getting these hibiscus out of the pots and taking a look at their roots, sorting things out, and getting them into their new home. I noticed upon further inspection that the hibiscus were still in the original seed starting plugs with a little bit of fabric. But that didn't stop me from yanking them apart. But it did cause this sort of elongated root plane, which needed to be cleaned up. I was actually really impressed with the root base and the trunk on these hibiscus. This is the one that is the fattest and biggest, and I'm planning to use this as the main tree in the forest. I'm going to try not to bore you with the lather, rinse, repeat as I go through all 4 of the pots to get the 8 hibiscus extracted, 7 of which I will use for the forest because apparently, you can't use even numbers when you make a forest. I don't know if that's tradition, superstition, or just some type of aesthetics. So if anyone happens to know, leave a comment and let me know. So with all of our little trees or plants extracted from the pots, root pruned, we are ready to go to start assembling our forest. And of course, we're going to start with the biggest one, and he's going to go right up front here. And it's times like this that I wish I had not just 1, but maybe 2 or 3 extra hands. Try to remember to put a little bit of mycorrhizal beneficial bacteria whenever I remembered. And with the help of a larger rock, I was finally able to get this guy to stand up and to move on and start adding the next trees. A little bit of size comparison to figure out who is going to be next. And just a little bit of pruning back, a bit of directional pruning. Take some of the branches back to make sure that it's not going to look too crowded when it's in the pot. the help of another rock, it's tree number 2 in place. You just top it up with a little bit of bonsai soil, and hopefully that will stay put. Time for tree number 3. I use a few smaller rocks here to try and hold this tree up, and it kind of works. Now tree number 4 and 5 will go just to the right and slightly behind tree number 3. So once again, a little bit of mic and some few small rocks. And tree number 5 should be all set in place. And I turned the pot to make it easier to put trees 6 and 7 over on the right hand side and slightly to the back. If you would like to see a very informative video on how to map out your tree placement when doing forest plantings, I highly recommend you check out Blue Sky Bonsai. He has many great videos, and the one that I found gave me my best overview of how to do a forest planting was from Dave at Blue Sky Bonsai. Now, I don't want you to get confused, because Blue Jay Bonsai and Blue Sky Bonsai sound very alike, and we are both masters of our trade. His is bonsai and mine is BS. And with that, we have trees 6 and 7 in place. We just top up all the areas that need filling in with the last of our bonsai soil. And our trusty old chopstick is used. Make sure that there are no air pockets and all the soil gets worked into the roots. And now, with everything turned back around to the front, we can do some final trimming to make sure that the overall composition works and that all of the trees are going to be visible. And wherever I have the option of getting rid of a big leaf, I'll always take it. And if there's a little one there or just starting to bud, I'll give preference to that one instead. And no Blue Jay Bonsai video would be complete without taking a look at the carnage. And we have leaves and stems everywhere, all over the floor. And Tom, I know you're always telling Zin who's gonna sweep it up. Well, today, Tom, it's going to be me. Taking advantage of the lovely weather we're having, I've gone outside to test out my new little blue Haas watering can. And it works just perfectly. And with a little makeshift backdrop, last minute, I hope it helps to make everything stand out so you can get a better view of what we've come up with. So back inside, when the camera wasn't rolling, I chopped off the tree on the far left. I noticed that our overall triangle for the composition was lacking. So I think that really helps it. And now for some updates in my office. I replaced the Blue Jay picture I had here with the TBS calendar. And I was able to frame the 2 Blue Jay pictures that I got for Christmas from Jennifer and put them up on the wall with the other existing pictures I had. And an update on the little plant I got from Vince. It's actually a Carissa or Natal plum. So thanks again, Vince.